Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about McDonald's stock, and one of the main reasons I was watching this stock was actually because they had earnings around July 28th of this year here. And one of the main things I was watching is whether or not they were going to be able to recover, such as we've seen with other companies as Walmart and Home Depot, to where they're actually above what they were costing before the economic downturn here. And honestly, this is one of the main signs that a company has been able to recover or even do better than what people expected during this time period, where we've seen a lot of other companies kind of fall off here and unfortunately leave the market. So McDonald's is a really, really kind of American stock that everybody knows and everybody can trust in. And for that reason, they're kind of recession proof here. However, you can see that they are still down from around a year ago before the economic crisis. Now, one of the main things I was watching, like I said, was the earnings, and they did hit a little below. You can see that they're having a really bad curve on their earnings right now, but I have a good feeling about October 22nd because the fact that a lot of people are going to start coming out again by this time, and it will be a lot different than the earnings we've seen from potentially January to March. So a lot of the reason why I'm watching McDonald's into the future is because they are one of the most stable companies on the stock market, and they're one of the long-term growth potential companies that we've seen kind of pull up here and become very much bigger over the last few years. So I think they're one of the laggers in the market here as far as stocks that have recovered that are conventionally those stable stocks. However, I think they can continue pushing up their valuation here within the next few weeks and potentially run up to their valuation in October, such as how we saw in the last month. So right now I'm going to take a look at McDonald's technical analysis here because like I always tell you guys, one of the main support moments in a stock is when they're reaching their all-time high, and you can see that this has very much been true here for McDonald's. They had a very, very strong resistance around the $202 range here. You can see that they tested it on the way down when the economic downturn was beginning, and then once again on the recovery. However, they also tested it once more for their earnings and have now bounced back all the way above that. So obviously the company here has been growing. There's been a lot more pressure to the upside than to the downside for McDonald's, and that's one of the best signs when you're kind of picking a stock for the long term here. Now, one of the main points that I'm watching is whether or not we will see a bounce to the downside here on market open on Monday, where potentially I'll be looking for a position in McDonald's around the $200 or $202 range here if we get lucky, because as you know, after something is a resistance point, when a stock can't break above, then after it breaks, it might come back, but the stock will not break below. It'll be a support point. So most of the time, this does become true, and this does present a very good opportunity for a swing trade to the upside if we do see a potential pullback on McDonald's stock here, as they've been one of the hottest stocks over the last 2 or 3 days here before market close on Friday. Also, another thing I kind of want to show you guys is this new channel that's been forming here within the last few months, the last 1 or 2 months here. And one of the main reasons why I'm watching this channel is, like I said again, they are at the top range of it. So if they do have a small pullback or any sort of resistance around this 219 level, then I feel like we could get a great buying opportunity here if they do test the bottom side of this channel and then see a large swing to the upside. So just keep a close eye here, guys. If they do break 219 coming into next week, obviously this is going to be a great opportunity to buy in, as we've seen a lot of other like stocks that are these stable type stocks in the stock market kind of rocket up, such as Apple, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, etc., after they do break that high point of what they were worth around a year ago or around 4 or 5 months ago here. So just keep a close eye out on this stock, guys. Like I said, very key levels to watch here are the 202, because that's where they had the most resistance to break in the past. And then one more level to watch is the 219, 220 range, which is their all-time highs. And that's going to present a lot of resistance here in the next few days, especially with the stock market and the SPY already at all-time highs. And a lot of companies aren't really moving like they were in previous months or potentially in March or February of this year. So kind of keep a close eye out on what stocks are actually moving to the upside or downside. and also be careful of these resistance points because you can potentially get caught with a stock pulling back. So just keep a close eye out on all of this, guys. As always, this is a great stock to invest in, one of the most stable stocks on the stock market, and one of the most long-term growth stocks that you could potentially invest in here. So that's why I've been keeping a close eye on them, and I'm looking for a swing trade to the upside around 202 sometime next week if we do see them have a small pullback along with the rest of the market, which is what I'm expecting to happen next week as we've kind of come to that all-time high point on the SPY as well. So we should see a lot of resistance before the SPY can break this point here. So just keep a close eye out on all these things, guys. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.